Welcome back everyone, I am Saptaparni from BioLive. Hope all of you are doing very well. So in today's video we are going to discuss about energetics of beta oxidation of palmitic acid. Now this video is going to be useful for NEET students, NET students and UG and PG students of zoology, botany and biochemistry. Okay. So what is a palmitic acid? Palmitic acid is a long chain saturated fatty acid which contains 16 carbon moieties. Okay. Now, before going into the energetics of beta oxidation of palmitic acid, first take a look on the beta oxidation process of palmitic acid. Okay. So, for beta oxidation of palmitic acid, first of all, palmitic acid needs to be activated in cytoplasm. Okay, remember that the beta oxidation process occurs in mitochondria, but the preparative process of it occurs in the cytoplasm. Okay, so in reaction with coenzyme A, palmitic acid gets converted into fatty acyl CoA. Okay, this is the fatty acyl CoA, and in this reaction one molecule of ATP is needed, and after the reaction we can see that one molecule of AMP is formed and two molecule of inorganic phosphate is found. So here two high energy phosphate bonds are used or consumed. Remember that here two high energy phosphate bonds are utilized for this reaction. Okay. Now, as this fatty acyl CoA of palmitic acid contains 16 carbon moieties, that means it is a long chain fatty acyl CoA, it cannot directly move through the inner mitochondrial membrane. This is the inner mitochondrial membrane, and the fatty acyl CoA, as it is a long chain fatty acyl CoA, it cannot move directly through this inner mitochondrial membrane. For its movement we need a carrier protein. Okay, this is the carrier protein, and the name of this carrier protein is acyl carnitine translocase. But the problem is this carrier protein cannot directly transfer fatty acyl CoA. It can only transfer fatty acyl carnitine. Okay, so for that fatty acyl CoA reacts with carnitine and coenzyme A is liberated and fatty acyl CoA is formed, fatty acyl carnitine is formed, which goes through the acyl carnitine translocase from intermembranous space of mitochondria to the inner side or the lumen of the mitochondria. Okay. Now here the fatty acyl carnitine again reacts with mitochondrial coenzyme A and gets back into its previous form, that is the fatty acyl CoA. Okay, and the carnitine is released, which goes back to the intermembranous space. Okay. So now this fatty acyl CoA is inside mitochondria. Now this fatty acyl CoA undergoes beta oxidation. See, first of all, why do we call it beta oxidation? Because when the oxidation process occurs, the beta carbon, this is the beta carbon. Okay, this is the beta carbon. This one is the carboxylic carbon. This one is the alpha carbon and this one is the beta carbon. This beta carbon gets oxidized. Okay, that is why this process is known as beta oxidation. And after one cycle of beta oxidation, a bond breakage occurs between the alpha and beta carbon of the fatty acyl CoA. Okay, so here the bond breakage occurs and two carbon moieties are removed. Okay, that means one acetyl CoA is removed and another fatty acyl CoA is formed which have two carbon moiety less. Okay, that means acetyl CoA is formed and C14 fatty acyl CoA is formed. Okay, so we are starting with fatty acyl CoA with 16 carbon moieties. In the first step, this is the oxidation step where FAD gets oxidized into FADH2. Okay, FAD gets reduced into FADH2 and fatty acyl CoA gets oxidized into alpha beta enoyl CoA. Then with the reaction with water, you can see here the oxidation occurred, and between alpha and beta we can find a double bond here. Okay, and after that this alpha beta enoyl CoA reacts with water and forms 3 hydroxy acyl CoA. That means see here at the beta position a hydroxyl group is attached here. Okay, so 3 hydroxy acyl CoA is formed. In the next step, the 3 hydroxy acyl CoA gets oxidized into beta keto acyl CoA. See here at the beta position now a keto group is formed. This is the keto group. Okay, keto group is formed. That is why it is named as beta keto acyl CoA. And here the oxidation occurs at the beta position. Okay, that is why the cycle is named as beta oxidation cycle. And in this phase NAD plus gets reduced into NADH. Okay, so see here for energetics this step is important, and also this step is important where FADH and FADH2 and NADH is formed. Okay, now after that beta keto acyl CoA again reacts with coenzyme A, and a bond breakage occurs at the alpha beta, between the alpha and beta atom of the beta keto acyl CoA, and one molecule of acetyl CoA is relieved. Okay, this is the alpha carbon. Okay, from here one molecule of acetyl CoA is released, and another molecule of fatty acyl CoA is formed which have 2 carbon atom less. That means it is a C14 fatty acyl CoA. Then this fatty acyl CoA again repeats the same beta oxidation cycle for 7 times to liberate total 8 molecule of acetyl CoA. Okay, now going to the energetics of beta oxidation of palmitic acid. Now see here, so how many number of cycles are required to oxidize one molecule of palmitic acid or C16 palmitic acid? For that we need n by 2 minus 1 number of cycles. That means total number of cycles is 7. Okay, see here we have got that 7 cycles are needed to fully oxide one molecule of palmitic acid. So total 7 cycles are needed. So obviously in 7 cycle how many number of FADH2 will be produced? In one cycle 1 FADH2 is produced. So in 7 cycles 7 FADH2 will be produced. Similarly in one cycle 1 NADH is produced. So in 7 cycles 7 NADH will be produced. And how many numbers of acetyl CoA will be produced? Obviously for each cycle one molecule of acetyl CoA will be produced, and in the last cycle there will be 2 acetyl CoA. So total number of acetyl CoA will be 7 plus 1, that is 8. Okay, now going to the energetics. Now first of all we will look into the ATP yield. How many ATP will be formed in a complete beta oxidation of palmitic acid? See, this 8 acetyl CoA goes to the TCA cycle or citric acid or Krebs cycle. Okay, and we know that from 1 acetyl CoA in TCA cycle total 10 molecules of ATP is produced. Okay, so from 8 cycles obviously 80 molecules of ATP will be produced. Okay, whereas 1 molecule of NADH when goes through the electron transport system or electron transport chain, it forms 2.5 molecule of ATP. So obviously 7 molecule of NADH will produce 17.5 molecule of ATP. Okay. Similarly, from 1 molecule of FADH2 in electron transport chain, we can get 1.5 molecule of ATP. So from 7 molecule of FADH2, we will get 10.5 molecule of ATP. When we add all these ATPs, we get that our total ATP yield becomes 108 molecule of ATP. Okay. Now remember that in the first step where the fatty acid was activated into its acyl CoA form in the cytoplasm, that means in this stage, okay, in the first stage we saw that 1 molecule of ATP is used, but 2 molecule of high energy phosphate bonds were consumed. That is why we will consider this step as 2 molecules of ATP were consumed. So total ATP consumption is 2 molecules of ATP for the first step. Okay. Now, so how what will be your total number of ATP gained? Obviously 108 minus 2, that will be 106. Okay, so your answer will be 106. So in one complete beta oxidation process of palmitic acid, we can get total 106 molecules of ATP. That will be our overall gain. Okay, so I hope the energetics of beta oxidation complete beta oxidation of palmitic acid is now clear to you, and in my next video we will discuss about the energetics of complete oxidation of linoleic acid, okay, which is a unsaturated fatty acid with 2 double bonds. Okay, so if you find this video useful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. Thanks for watching and happy learning.